Hey folks, Trev here. Today I'm going to go through the differences between a freelance web designer versus a web development agency, which option is more affordable, the different options available, and using web design templates versus custom web development. So, a freelance web designer is obviously a single web designer who doesn't have a big company, doesn't have employees or staff, or probably doesn't have units to rent out, which means that you're probably going to get a cheaper website design from a freelance web developer rather than an agency. And on the flip side, you then have a web design agency, which will probably have two or more employees, and would probably have bigger outlays such as staff, insurance, units, and offices to rent, and so on. So you're probably going to pay more, which then brings you to the quality of the website. Are you going to get a better website developed from an agency versus a single web developer, a web developer freelancer? So a web developer freelancer probably is limited to the amount of websites they can design, but I would say that you would probably get a cheaper website from a freelance web developer than you would from a web design agency, as they have more money to go out to get that website designed, which then brings you to the quality of the website. So you can obviously, if you go with a freelance web developer versus a web design agency, you can obviously check the quality of their content, their previous work, portfolio, and so on. I would say that a freelance web developer, if they're not a good freelance web developer, well then they're not going to get a lot of business. And equally the same with a web design agency. And I think the way things have gone the past 2 or 3 years of people working from home, and people being able to do a lot of work from their house, especially web design. You don't need to be visiting someone on an hourly basis or even face to face to get a website designed. You can get a website designed in Ireland or India or Japan or wherever you want. So I do think that you are going to get probably a better option, better value from a web developer who's a freelancer versus an agency which has a few employees and has more money to pay out. Will you get more of a service from a web design agency? You'll probably get a lot more calls, phone conversations, more emails going back and forth, more like, for example, let's say, you want 10 changes with a website and you're not happy with them and you want to add more products or you want more scope. Well, a web development agency will probably do that for you with no issues, because they've just probably charged you a bit more for a website than a web design freelancer. But with a web design freelancer, they'll do it at a price that's reasonable for them and reasonable for you. So at some point, they will start to say to themselves, I'm losing money because this customer wants 10 changes or 11 changes. So you're probably going to get a bit more scope out of the web design agency than the freelancer. But if you want to kind of a standard website for a reasonable price, a freelancer might be the better option, which then brings you to a custom web design versus a template web design. So if you look at the McDonald's website or the Burger King website, you could probably take the Burger King website and change the logo and change where it says Burger King to McDonald's, and the websites won't be too far off. So I get a few people looking for custom website designs. I would suggest that there are so many templates out there, WordPress templates, Shopify and PrestaShop and so on, that they will have what you need. If you want a custom website designed from scratch, you are probably going to pay a lot more for that custom website. Think about it like a house. If you want a house and you can copy and paste a house in the virtual world, wouldn't that save you a lot more money than if you had to build that house from scratch? So I would say there are a lot of templates out there that would work for you, as opposed to going to design a website from scratch. And the other point as well is that, what do you want out of your website? You need to make sure, don't just say to someone, I want a website, or I want an online shop, or I want to sell more money, or I want to make more sales. Actually, the best thing in this circumstance is to look at a single competitor or a single website that you like and base it off that. And you can get ideas from that website. So if you're a taxi driver and you like the taxi driving company ABC, taxis.com, you literally have almost the content there, almost the images, You can see how they're running their AdWords campaign, their Facebook campaigns. The more you start to click into their website or their contact page or their Twitter page, the more their ads will show up for Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and so on, which means the more you can see what they're doing, get some ideas about what they're doing, and start to use that on your website. So, or take what you don't want from the website and don't put that on your website. But you're better off doing that than just saying to someone, I want a website, off you go, and she'll come back to me in a week or 2 or 3 weeks, because the more you can refine it, the better a price you'll get and the better quality you'll get in the end. So thanks for watching the video, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments or likes, or if you could like the video, subscribe below, I'd appreciate it, and have a nice day.